What if Tanjiro's dad became a demon slayer? I created multiple timelines for this, and this is the best one I could find, so let's get right into it. Tanjiro's dad's real name is Tanjuro Kamado. In the series, we learn he had already passed away before episode 1, so we only see him in flashbacks. It's stated in the Entertainment District arc that Tanjiro himself wasn't considered particularly special, but his father was the last truly exceptional one in the family. Tanjiro had a small mark on his forehead, similar to Yorichi's full demon slayer mark, which gave him special abilities. That mark allowed him to access the transparent world, use sun breathing, and push past his limits with incredible skill. Before we dive into this what if, let's first break down what the demon slayer mark actually is. Since Tanjiro was born with the mark, he already had access to the transparent world, along with enhanced stamina, strength, and overall abilities. But the thing about the demon slayer mark is that it shortens your lifespan, pushing your body far beyond its limits. But since he was born with it, that rule doesn't necessarily apply. After all, Yoriichi was born with the mark and lived well past 25. So in this timeline, the sickness that killed Tanjiro is gone, meaning he survives past episode 1. Instead of Tanjiro going alone to sell coal, his dad comes with him. After selling all the coal, an old man stops them on their way back and warns them about demons being out at night. Tanjiro tells his dad they should stay the night, so they do. But when they return home the next morning, they find their entire family dead, killed by a demon. Let's clear something up. In the original series, Tanjiro died from an illness at age 25. Some people might think that was because of the Demon Slayer mark, but it wasn't. It was just a random illness. He was born with the Demon Slayer mark, and it was active, so his death had nothing to do with the mark itself. Now let's go back to the story. Everything plays out like normal. Nezuko becomes a demon, and Tanjiro and his dad try to get her some help. Giyu shows up, and this is where things change. Tanjiro is strong, but his dad is even stronger, having truly mastered sun breathing. Remember, he once took down a bear using just a rusty axe. Because of that, he gives Giyu a much harder fight. They're almost on the same level. The only drawback is that Tanjiro doesn't have a proper weapon, which holds him back. Eventually, Giyu lets Tanjiro, his dad, and Nezuko go to train with the former water Hashira, Urokodaki, and so they head there next. Once they meet up with Urokodaki, the former water Hashira, Tanjiro talks with him. The only thing Urokodaki can really teach him are some basic sword movements, since Tanjiro already knows sun breathing, the selfless state, and the transparent world, making him nearly Hashira level, if not higher. After that, he officially becomes a demon slayer. Tanjiro trains under his dad, learning sun breathing and how to master the selfless state. He gets close to unlocking the transparent world with his father's help, but he still needs to awaken the demon slayer mark. After a couple of months of training, they head to the final selection, where they take down almost all the demons there. The hand demon is no problem for either of them, since they're both incredibly strong now. Nezuko stays back with Urokodaki, the former water Hashira. After returning to Urokodaki's place, they take Nezuko and set off on their journey, slaying demons along the way. Before long, they face the drum demon, a former lower moon, and meet Zenitsu and Inosuke. After defeating the drum demon, the group heads to Mount Natagumo, ready to take on Rui and the rest of his so-called family. With Inosuke, Tanjuro, and Tanjiro charging up the mountain while Zenitsu stays behind, the group eventually encounters the spider demon parents. Together, they take down both the mother demon and the massive father demon with ease. Now we get to the part where Nezuko never leaves her box, and Tanjiro and his dad go to face Rui. For them, it's hardly a challenge. Tanjiro alone could defeat Rui without much trouble. Afterward, we reach the Hashira meeting, where the big question comes up: why are they traveling with a demon? This time, the wind Hashira, Sanemi, never lays a finger on Nezuko because Tanjiro is there to stop him. The two nearly start fighting until the master arrives and orders them to stand down. From that point on, the demon slayers are forced to accept Nezuko into their ranks. As for Tanjiro, his incredible skill earns him the title of the sun-breathing Hashira. Because he defeated Lower Moon 5, Tanjiro was officially recognized as the sun-breathing Hashira. Tanjiro naturally became the Suguko, apprentice of his father, now serving under the newly appointed sun-breathing Hashira. The Mugen Train arc didn't have to feature Rengoku. It could have been any Hashira assigned to the mission. So, let's put the brand new Sun Hashira, Tanjuro Kamado, to the test. This time, Tanjiro, Nezuko, Inosuke, and Zenitsu join him, essentially replacing Rengoku with Tanjiro's dad in this version of the story. So, they all board the Mugen train, and the events play out much like they did with Rengoku. Everyone falls asleep under Enmu's spell, then wakes up to fight. When the train transforms, Tanjiro's dad, Zenitsu, and Nezuko work together to protect the passengers, keeping the train safe from the demon's attacks. Meanwhile, Tanjiro and Inosuke head to the front of the train to face Lower Moon 1. With Tanjiro now far more skilled in sun breathing and overall combat, they manage to defeat him with relative ease. Now we get to the fight with Upper Moon 3, Akaza. This battle is much closer than in the original series, since Tanjiro is far stronger than Rengoku. This time, Tanjiro doesn't get stabbed, so he's able to assist his dad in trying to take Akaza down. By the time the sun begins to rise, Akaza's head is sliced off by Tanjiro. Believing him to be dead, Tanjiro and his father turn their backs, only for Akaza to reattach his head and flee into the forest to escape the sunlight. When they return from the Mugen train, there's both good news and bad news. The good news, they managed to defeat Lower Moon 1. The bad news, they failed to kill Upper Moon 3, Akaza. Tanjiro explained that Akaza regenerated his head, something he suspected might be unique to Upper Moons. But ultimately, Akaza only ran off because the sunlight was about to hit him. Now we've got the Entertainment District arc, but this time, Tanjiro's dad is out of the picture. The key difference is that Tanjiro is now much stronger, having mastered sun breathing, nearly mastered the transparent world, and fully unlocked the selfless state. Everything plays out mostly the same, except when Tanjiro first faces Daki, he actually manages to cut off her head, causing Gyutaro to appear earlier. Tengen and the others arrive quickly, and the fight against Upper Moon 6 begins. This time, Tengen doesn't lose his arm. In the heat of the battle, Tanjiro unlocks his Demon Slayer mark, and in that intense moment, Tengen unlocks his own mark as well. After the fight, Nezuko heals Tengen, and they head off. From here, events follow the original timeline. Tanjiro ends up in a coma for 3 months, and then we move into the Swordsmith Village arc. In this version, the arc plays out almost exactly the same as in the original series, except Tanjiro is much stronger, so the battles are easier for him. Overall, the Swordsmith Village arc doesn't change much in this timeline, and now, since Nezuko has gained immunity to sunlight, they return, and this time, we get a Hashira training arc. Most of the Hashira already know about the Demon Slayer mark, so training goes smoothly. The key difference is that now, we have the Sun Hashira, Tanjiro's dad, stepping in. It plays out almost exactly the same as before, but with the added intensity of training under a Sun Hashira. Meanwhile, Muzan still forms his plan to capture Nezuko. Kagaya is killed, and the Demon Slayers are all transported into the Infinity Castle, starting the Infinity Castle arc. So for the Upper Moon, one fight in this timeline will have Tanjuro Kamado, Sun Hashira, teaming up with Gyomei Himejima, Stone Hashira, Muichiro Tokito, Mist Hashira, Sanemi Shinazugawa, Wind Hashira, and Genya Shinazugawa. For the Upper Moon 2 Doma fight in this timeline, the team would be Shinobu Kocho, Insect Hashira, Kanao, Inosuke, and Tengen Uzui Sound Hashira. That squad has both speed and poison on their side, plus some serious unpredictability with Inosuke and Kanao working together. For Upper Moon 3, Akaza, it stays the same. Tanjiro Kamado and Giyu Tomioka versus Akaza. Now, we get to the fight with Upper Moon 3 Akaza. This one basically ends the same way. Tanjiro uses the selfless state to kill Akaza. Now let's get into the Upper Moon 2 fight. In the Upper Moon 2 fight with Doma, Tengen is there, so Shinobu doesn't die. Together, with 2 Hashira, Kanao, and Inosuke, they overwhelm him. Eventually, they manage to get the job done, killing Doma, and this time, no one has to die in the process. Now we get to one of my favorite fights in this video, Kokushibo, Upper Moon 1 versus all the Hashira and Genya. But this time, this fight goes a lot easier now that Tanjiro's dad is in the mix, with Gyomei, Sanemi, and Muichiro helping out, and Tanjiro's dad being almost on Yorichi's level. They're able to defeat Kokushibo without too much trouble. Now, for the side battles, Zenitsu versus Kaigaku doesn't last long, ending quickly in Zenitsu's victory. Nakime faces off against Mitsuri, Obanai, and Yushiro, but before the fight can truly finish, Muzan kills Nakime himself. With her gone, everyone is teleported out of the Infinity Castle, marking the start of the Sunrise Countdown arc. Muzan gets taken down much faster this time, thanks to Tanjiro and Tanjiro both fully mastering sun breathing. With their combined power, along with the other Hashira, nobody dies in this battle. Shinobu is still alive, and even Obanai survives. All of this is because of Tanjiro present. In the end, Tanjiro doesn't turn into a demon, and Muzan is finally defeated once and for all. Mitsuri and Obanai get to live long, happy lives together, finally able to be a couple without the looming threat of demons. Shinobu also survives in this timeline, and she and Giyu eventually become a couple as well, living out their days in peace. Now, if you guys want to see what if Nezuko became a demon slayer with Tanjiro, full timeline.